welcome to my tutorial. As told before, today I'll be doing the NIOS Data Entry Practical for MS Excel, and this will be covering around chapter 6, 7 and 8 of your data entry booklet of grade 10 and grade 12, which is secondary and senior secondary. The most important things to know for chapter 6 and 7 and including 8, but let's talk about 6 and 7 first, are the basic operations of how to use the basics of worksheets or spreadsheet. In chapter 7, you will be knowing how to do the formatting or the editing or using Microsoft Excel. In these two cases, you will be seeing the screen recording and I'll be explaining to you what is or how it has to be done. As it is much similar to MS Word and the future upcoming video for Microsoft PowerPoint, you will receive the same type of methods for 6 and 7. Chapter number 8 is a bit different because it contains something called as formula, including graphs. So the graph can actually be seen in the screenshots that I will be showing you out of the screen recording system, but let's concentrate on formulae. When we talk about the formulae, I mean that we have to know how to calculate the formula of sum, average and percentage. So one by one, if you know the formula of these three things, it's very important in the examination. And there is something called as min and max. Many people, they get confused with min and max, okay? About this thing, I will tell you the shortcut of how to do this thing using the screen recording. Let us come forward and see what is the screen recording method for MS Excel and how we can make ourselves better in using MS Excel and solve all type of practical questions.
So hi dear students, and as you can see over here, we have got the screen recording system ready, and now what we need to do is open Microsoft Excel. Same procedures can be used for opening Microsoft Excel the way how we have opening Microsoft Word. That is, you can either right click, go to new and select from here Microsoft Excel, which is this, and rename the folder. If by mistake you're not able to rename it, by mistake you have pressed the button again and you have lost it, you can right click on the same thing and then choose rename and type the name. We can say as book 1 and enter. The second way of opening Microsoft Excel is to go to the start button, all programs, MS Office or Microsoft Office, and then choose Microsoft Excel from here. Since I have already opened one, I don't need to open another one. Double click it and then you're going to have Microsoft Excel opening. As you can see here, the most important thing that every student should know while using Microsoft Excel is he has to press a button anywhere and see how to rename that particular type of box. Each box is called in a computer language as cells, and each cell therefore has a name. If I click here, that means I have the letter N bolded, and at the same time I have a number bolded, which is the number is on the vertical side and the letters on the horizontal side. The vertical number is 7 and the horizontal side alphabet is N. This means that the name of the cell is N7. To reconfirm the name, you can just look at this side also, N7. So if I click here, it is going to be H11, and here it is also written as H11. This is the way now you have known how to name a particular type of cell. The next procedure is to identify the basics that what we have seen in Microsoft Word and also you will be seeing in PowerPoint. That is the Home tab. As you can see here, this is the Home tab where we have Home, changing the number size, the style, bold, italic, underline, changing the color of the font, changing the type of form, whether you wanted to start from aligning the text from the left, in between or to the right. You can also see there is something called as auto sum, which is an automatic method of calculating the formula of whatever you want to do, like minimum, maximum, average, sum, etc. But you have to know for the exam the practical method, as you will be asked to solve the question. Then, for example, there is something new that is called as merge and center wrap text. What is merge and center? When I want to join two cells together, I can't. As you can see here, this is one cell, and if I use my arrow and go to the second one, I just go to another cell automatically. What about the F1? There are two different types of cells. To join them together and make one cell, I click the merge and center button. By doing that, they become together as one cell. Forget about the naming of it. No need to know about its name because they are just merged. Similarly, I can take a group of this box together and also press merge, where this becomes one box in between, as you can see over here. Now, You have the undo and the redo button. You have the save button in here as usual. Okay, let us type out something. These two letters, good and bad, I want them to be inside a box. For that I can choose this option and then click this all borders. By pressing all borders, they have gone into this box. Similarly, I want to bolden the name inside. You can click bold, italic, underline. Similarly, you can change its color to purple, or let's take red. You can change its style and same time change its size. As you can see here, half of it has gone out. To make it perfect, you either can click on this arrow here and double click it. See, it became normal. Or you can simply click on that same box and then choose wrap text. The wrap text will help it to come in the same box and automatically you can see the size increases. But since it is one word, it is better to click over here also same time. Fine. After you have done with this, the next thing is, as you can see over here, we have something that is going on, that is insert. Now, since we are still in chapter 6 and chapter 7, I would like to explain something more. Worksheet, or also known as Microsoft Excel, is a place where you can add data such as journal, numbers, currency, accounting, dates, time, percentage, fraction, and even scientific notations. It can be used for all types of text and numbers. Insert tab. In the Insert tab, you can add pictures, clip art, shapes, including charts. Coming back to the charts later. In picture, I can click the picture and then you can choose the location from where you want to add the pictures. For example, if this is the picture I want to add, we can add any of these pictures into this as such. And then you can resize the picture by double clicking it over here and then choosing the size from this side. As you can see here, you have added a picture. Usually people don't use picture insertion over here until it is a graph or something that has been saved into JPG or PNG formats. Next is clip art. Clip art is something which will open on your right hand side over here, and then you can simply click the button and choose any pictures from here. Next, delete it. Graph I will be explaining to you later. Shapes are something that you can make. For example, you need to make a box as such and then you need to do any editing. You can choose on the format. As you can see here, this tab of format suddenly disappears when I go away from the picture. To bring it back, you need to double click on the particular picture and then the format comes where you can edit its shape, you can add some text, color effects, outline, filling shapes and giving some effects also. Outlining and different types of things can be done. This can be used by doing over here. Delete the picture. Something we have next is called page layout. A page layout is a place where you can do page setup. By clicking this arrow over there, you get a folder or a window like that. You can choose landscape or portrait. At the moment it is on landscape, which is more than enough, and then you press OK. And then you get the division of this automatically invisible lines which will not print out in the paper, and you can use this for printing. Formulas, you don't need it at the moment. Data, review. We need data. Review, basically review. In the review, this is the only section where you get the ABC or the spelling checker, and this is common for both Microsoft Word, Excel and PowerPoint. Basically, we don't do spelling checking in PowerPoint, but more it is done for data Excel and for the Microsoft Word. Now, still in chapter 6 and 7 we need to click the Office button. After, for example, if this is my document which I have to save it, I can save it by going to Office and clicking the Save button, or also choosing the Save button from here, or also pressing the shortcut key Ctrl S. The final thing is you need to know. Basically, Microsoft Excel is a workbook, which means a workbook is a book that contains many pages inside. Similarly, this is a workbook which contains many pages, and these pages are named as Sheet 1, Sheet 2 and Sheet 3. You can either rename the sheet by right clicking on it and putting the name as B, and this sheet can be given the name as A. You can also delete an extra worksheet by just right clicking it and choosing the word delete. You can also add an extra by choosing this one and putting insert worksheet and insert worksheet. The many number of worksheets you have, that will be called as worksheet, and the whole document which is on your saved on your desktop will be referred as a workbook. Before coming to save as, we need something called as print. Print is a procedure where you can print the document. By printing this document, you can choose the type of printer that you need, the properties of find a printer, number of copies that you want to print, pages if there are special any, or if you want to print all the entire workbook, and then you press OK. Print preview is a process by which we can see how the document will look like after printing. As you can see here, I have chosen the print preview format, and this is the way how the document is going to look when it prints. The word good and bad. Finally, we have something called as save as. As we do not click on the save as, we look at the arrow only, we can see we have got a list of information in here. These list of informations are information which tells us how you want your format of the document to be. Save as can be divided into two parts. Either it is the way how you want to save it, the format, or you want to put a password. Saving format, for example, in the office like 97 2003, if you have an old desktop and you want to print it from there, or if somebody has an old computer version or still not updated Microsoft, they can use this format so that you can save this document by converting it into 2003 format, or you can use it for protection, or also go to PFD format, PDF I mean. Now you can go to click as save as, and if you click on save as, what happens? You get open this window. In this window, you can choose the location where you want to save your particular document and also click the word save. Otherwise, if you want to put a password, you go to tools, general options, and then you have password to open, password to modify. As I explained previously in Microsoft Word, password to open is a password in which it will help you when you have a desktop icon such as this one. When you double click it to open it, before opening it is going to ask you for a password. And password to modify is when the document will literally open up like that. You can easily see what is written inside. You can also make changes as per what you require, but when you click the close button or when you click the save button, it will not save. It will ask for a password, and this is because you have to give a password to modify, that is making an editing for a particular document. This is the end of chapter 6 and chapter 7, as you have understood thoroughly how chapter 6 and chapter 7 is actually used for this exam, or how you can be asked in the practical. Coming forward now to chapter number 8. Okay, and before that, to save, sometimes if you didn't click this button, you can click this close button and you can press the save or no, your wish. So dear students, as you can see here, we are now starting with chapter number 8. Chapter number 8 is now using charts and formula for Microsoft Excel. These are some tables which I have already made over here regarding the marks of my students for first term exam, second term exam and third term exam. Before that, one thing which I haven't thought is called inserting and deleting of rows and columns. To insert an extra row, which is if I need to insert an extra, let's say if I need to a column, I just between 2 and 3 term, I just right click on the term 3, choose insert and then choose entire column. Automatically a column comes. If you have to delete it, I right click it, I use the word delete and I delete the entire column. If I have to add a row between this and this line, which is 2 and 3, I go to 3, right click it, insert entire row, press OK. There you get one. If I don't want, I will simply right click, delete entire row, OK. That is done. So now you have learned how to insert and delete entire rows and columns between or after or before any of the columns or rows. Now the thing is to go through the formulas and the chart. First we start with the chart. You have been given with these marks and you need to prepare a bar chart or a pie chart for this student. To prepare a bar chart or a pie chart, you need to do such. Now, after what you have to do is you have to select these 3 columns. After selecting, you go to insert, choose your chart. You have a chart option available over here, or also you can click this button and choose the type of chart that you require. I need to choose a column chart or a bar chart. Let's call them chart. Here you can see a chart has been prepared. You have term 1, term 2, term 3. You have the lines for each term, every student, what he got, the marks. By increasing this, you get the first row, this is the marks, second student, third student, fourth student, fifth student. What you can do is, these are 30 students, that is why 30 students marks. What you can do is, you can also change these numbers and write the names of the students instead also by adding another column over here, which is on your left hand side, and writing the names of the students, and that mark per student's marks for first term, second term, third term. An example was for grade 4C, the student's graph was as such. 4E, the student's graph was such. 4G, so and so. This is the way to insert a graph. Similarly, you can use the same method for inserting graph in a pie chart. Select it, go to insert, choose pie. That is that. But this looks too much colorful because there are many numbers. Pie charts are suitable for small amount of numbers or differentiation such as percentage, which will be less. This is the way to do the chart. The next thing is to do a addition. Now to do addition, for example, if I need to add a marks of these 3 terms, I put over here my column, and then I can put the formula. The formula number 1 for adding the number is called equal sum. Open the bracket. Location of first student mark A2 plus B2, this one, plus C2. Close the bracket, enter. 290 is automatically the total. To see the formula, you can see, you click on that cell and you can see the formula on the top that it has come. This is the formula for the sum. Similarly, I can go over here and do the formula for average. Equal average bracket A2 comma B2 comma C2. Close the bracket and then see. The formula has come, and that is the average. So in average, you put commas, no plus sign, and it is in shine. What you can do, one more method of putting average is what? You can put equal average, or if you don't want average, you can simply add the numbers by doing sum. Open the bracket, A2 plus B2 plus C2. Close the bracket, divided by the number present. How many there are? 3. Still the answer remains the same. So these are 2 formulas for calculating average. Fourth one is the way of adding one more time in a more easier way. Since addition is all adding of numbers, we don't care if they are big or they are small. That is why we can choose any column. So let's do an easy way. The first number location is equals sum A2, and since we have to do A2 plus B2 plus C2, that is why what I am going to do, I'll choose semicolon, and then directly instead of B2 I'm going to type C2, because automatically you can see over here this has been taken into the line, and press enter. The sum remains the same still. So this is the way to calculate sum, average, and sum. And you can see the formulas over here. See the formula for this average, this is also average, and this is for adding in a different way. Same thing you can do for minus, but for minus you cannot choose 3 numbers, so the semicolon system is not going to use for subtraction. It can only work for 2 numbers. Similarly, for division and multiplication, you can choose only 2 numbers, not one. So only 2 numbers, not 3 numbers or more. Fine. Now the final thing is to choose minimum and maximum, and also percentage. For a percentage, if I want to know the student's percentage, I can do it over here. The percentage of this 3 is going to be what? You will add it. Equal sum, open bracket, A2 semicolon C2. Close the bracket. What is the final answer? You will get as 290. We already know. We need to know its percentage. So we are going to do divided by 300, because it is out of 100 marks each. So 100, 200, 300 divided by 300, multiply by 100. That is the percentage. You got the answer as 96.666%, and this is the average also, and this can also be calculated as a percentage also. So you don't have to do. And then another formula for doing percentage is what? Equal percentage, open the bracket, A2 to that, or you can put A2 comma B2 comma C2, close the bracket. But this system doesn't work, so what we can do is we can just add the plus sign. Let us see if this works. This doesn't work, so don't use this formula. The best one is to use this one for finding the percentage. So I is for percentage. Okay, this is for adding using semicolon. So let me write adding colon. Don't get confused with the biological colon. This is average. This is also average, but this is average using the word average in the formula. This is the average using the sum. So in the bracket I can write sum. And this one is normal addition. Finally, to calculate minimum and maximum, let us see what we have to do. Minimum and maximum is a process, but it is something very easy. Let me give you an example. For example, term number 1 a student has got 95, term number 2 a student has got 98, and term number 3 a student has got 97. Among all of these marks, what the student has got the highest is called maximum marks, which mark student has got the lowest is called the minimum marks. So in 95, 98 and 97, which is the highest marks? 98. So that will be written in the maximums column, and the marks which is the lowest is 95. It is going to be written in the minimums column. To do that, you just have to put the formula equal min, open the bracket, and the location from A to semicolon C2 and close the bracket. Answer is 95. That is minimum, and you can see the formula here. Let's choose the maximum. Equal max, open the bracket, A2 all the way to C2. You have to use the semicolon method and close the bracket. So as you can see here, this was the way to calculate the minimum and the maximum method, and these are the formulas you can see over here for max and for the min. Similarly, you are done with all the formulas and all the charts. Finally, thank you for watching the video.